In today's episode, we review our recent visit to Mickey Mouse's not-so-scary Halloween party.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
You are listening to the Main Street Magic Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Stein and John Marone.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and joined as always by my friend and co-host, John Marone.
Boo to you.
And today we're going to talk about Mickey Mouse's not-so-scary Halloween party and what we thought of it when we visited just about a weekend or two ago. So I'm just going to kick this right off to you, John, and let you get started on this one.
So episode 2, we talked about, would you rather do the Halloween party or the Christmas party? And we kind of gave the points of each one, and not that we were split. There's favorites for both, and if you could do both, definitely. But now that we have experienced a Halloween party for this year, we can look back at it, especially not much different versus the previous years.
Correct.
So I won't say that subtle changes. So you were coming from Pop Century.
Correct.
I was coming from Saratoga Springs.
Yeah.
I got lucky in that we said we were the party starts at 7, runs till midnight, but you can get in the park at 4.
Yeah.
For us, it doesn't matter, right? Annual pass holder, just go whenever you want.
Yeah.
But we plan to meet up there about 5.
Mm-hmm.
We got lucky in that we snagged the bus immediately. We walked out of our room, and again, I'm not a bus fan. I would drive to everywhere except Magic Kingdom.
Right,
This
right.
is the only
It's such a
place
nightmare.
that works for the bus. So we managed to walk out our room. There was a bus stop right there, actually 2 of them, one to our left and right of our room, so we had a choice. I took the one to the left because it picks up earlier.
Yeah.
Right, so I just said, hey, we'll hop on this one. Got on, the bus was packed. We made 2 more stops in the resort. It emptied out, and I think there was maybe 8 of us on the way to the Magic Kingdom. So it was
nice.
great. Good
That's
timing.
rare.
Nobody in line for security.
Mm-hmm.
Got right through, got our bands, and looked at the time. It took no time at all, but yet this was a sold-out party.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because it was a Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
And in the previous years that we have done this on the same weekend, the same Sunday night, has never been sold out before. So I don't know whether it was just an increase because of popularity or it was an increase because of, as the hurricanes came through, people needed to redo their trips and ended up picking this weekend.
Yeah.
Technically, it could end up being a long weekend depending where you live.
Well, right, and that's as we knew. Normally, our kids would have not had school that Monday. They ended up having a hurricane makeup day. They were supposed to go to school Monday, but we had planned far ahead. So that could have been some of it as well, as most everybody in Florida was probably not planning to have their kids potentially in school on that Monday because it was a teacher planning day. So that I wonder if that was part of it as well, but it was sold out.
It was
for
sold
sure.
out, which is interesting because you typically that Halloween night sells out, and the other ones not so much,
Yeah.
and especially having 31 dates. So we were a little bit surprised at that. One thing that was different now is as you walked in the park, when you start heading right past, well, we walked in, and while we were waiting for you guys, we headed straight to the firehouse to get the I'm losing Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, the special Halloween card.
Oh, yeah.
Which was Country Bears, so we got those, and then we headed to go wait for you guys. So right around the hub to the right, which is where I guess they'll eventually build a new Mickey Theater,
Yeah.
there's the back walkway behind the buildings. And they will open that up for overflow crowds to get in or out of the park. This was opened up and set up to get you your Halloween bag to trick or treat with, to get some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So there were picture spots there. So if you're using PhotoPass, there were some places to do it. And you also, as you walk through it, even whether you were at 4 o'clock or you were at 5 or 6, even though it was before the party, you were your first trick-or-treating barrel you went by. So we got candy there a little bit after 5 o'clock, right off the bat, which typically you had to wait till 7. Now we had time to kill, right? So what do we do in that time? I'm a big believer that the one ride you have to ride for the Halloween party is Haunted Mansion. So we headed there to Haunted Mansion to ride that. The wait said 30, and it was pretty much 30.
Yeah, pretty much spot on.
We were closer to the end of October than the beginning, right? So we were on the back half of
I would
October.
not have known based on the temperature.
And that was it, the temperature. So you just look, and people do such a great job of dressing up, including yourself, your wife, the girls, and then my kids. And I usually am not. I'm usually the Halloween party pooper. So I have on a nice Haunted Mansion shirt, which was a dry fit. So actually, I should win the costume of the night.
Yes.
Because it was hot. I mean, that whole weekend was just, you were upper 80s with high humidity, and it was unbearable. No clouds. It was something else. So we waited that 30 minutes, and we didn't care if we got a Haunted Mansion and it broke down and we were stuck in there for 20 minutes. So be it.
Oh, I wish it would have.
yeah. The one time that you're like, please, just break down, and we'll actually bring that up here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to talk about that.
So after we left that, it was time to go look for something to eat. We decided that our best place to do was go to the underrated Sleepy Hollow, head to the window there and get some chicken and waffles. Was great. There was 3-4 people in line.
Mm-hmm.
We got up.
Shortest I've ever seen it.
Yep, shortest ever seen it. And I said I was ordering first for my family, and said I'm going to need 2 of the spicy chicken and waffles. And I was told we are out of chicken.
Yeah,
we're going to get more chicken. We just don't know when. Could be here in a minute. Could be here in a couple hours. No idea. So I scratched my head at that one. It did also look like there was really only one person cooking the waffles and the chicken, and so we bailed. We just said forget it.
And I was so excited for that because I haven't had that in, it's probably been over a year, and I love that spicy chicken and waffles that you had recommended to us before. I was heartbroken.
Yeah, we're out of chicken. So we decided to try and figure out where to go from there. So it was on to your favorite,
Pecos Bill.
Yep.
I can do nachos there pretty much anytime. My only regret, and I meant to do it this last trip, was I meant to do the mobile ordering, and that would have been a perfect opportunity to do it. Now, it was I didn't feel like it was nearly as packed as it normally is. I'm guessing because we were right in the middle of when they're pretty much trying to get the regular day Magic Kingdom ticket holders out and the Halloween party people in. So maybe that's why. But it was a nice little break. We were at a point where it was just what will get us inside air conditioning. So I thought it worked out pretty well in our timing.
Mobile ordering, I've looked at it a couple times now. Haven't used it yet. I haven't used it yet for this one reason. No discounts apply on it yet.
Right. And Pecos Bill takes discount. So you're going to miss out if you do mobile order. Yeah.
So that's the one thing. When they could figure out how to do the annual pass or Tables in Wonderland, and I'm not normally a person that kind of complains. I'll pick different topics here or there. The one topic that drives me nuts right now is just the discounts.
Yeah.
Right? The annual pass discount. Well, you don't have a pass, you don't have a card, it's not on your band, so it's open up your My Disney Experience app and show me you're a pass holder. Well, if you don't have a good signal or it just takes a while, you're standing there forever. So ultimately what I did is just took a screenshot of my pass page, so I just show them that.
Yeah.
Or Tables in Wonderland. Here, let me pull out my card, my paper card, if you haven't upgraded to the plastic one.
Which I've not, and it took, every time we used it this past weekend, it took like 4 swipes on that paper card.
That paper card is tough on there. Or if they're doing, just anything. It's the DVC. Oh, I have a DVC. Here, well, I'm buying something, merchandise. I want to use it for my discount. Great. Do you have the card and a photo ID? It's like either put it on the band or don't have it at all. It's
I mean, if we can go into the front entrance and use our band and our fingerprint, how can that technology not transfer over into using your discount at restaurants? I'm with you there. So we use you're further along than we are. I don't know why I haven't done it yet because we've talked about this. Every single time I got my wallet folded out, I have my ID, and I've got my annual pass holder card with the backside showing with my little signature on it, and I'm showing that to them every time. And along those same lines, now we've gotten really good about it now. We ask everywhere we go, do you take any sort of discount? I don't care if we're shopping, we're eating, whatever. It's still sometimes it just slips your mind. I love when a cast member will ask you, do you have a discount? So that's something else I wish they would kind of, increase and I guess do some training across the board for. But so Pecos Bill was great as always. And then we made our way back out into the sun.
Yep, back out in the sun, and don't get me started on the finger scanners.
Okay. Yeah, it's that could be a whole episode for sure because
one complaint per episode max. And,
yeah, we'll save it for our trip review episode. I've got some.
So they so we headed out, and it was pretty much time now for we wanted to see where the cadaver Dans were, but there wasn't really they're not listed on the Halloween party showtime.
Yep.
So they're not listed in there. So we didn't know, were they starting at 7? Were they 7:15? Were they 7:30? And where were they? By then the kids were ready for candy.
Of course.
Right? So we managed to hit a few different candy spots. Went through the one by the Jungle Cruise, went through the one by the Tiki Birds, went through one there in Frontierland.
Yeah. And with the Tiki Birds, I was so worried about because we started to walk in. I was afraid we were going to have to sit through that show. So it was nice they had shut that down and we just got to walk through. But you still got to kind of see that atmosphere and the ambiance of that. So that was a little lifesaver there.
Yeah. Candy. So Mars is one of the sponsors. So the candy's decent, right? Gummy Lifesavers, Skittles, a couple different kinds, Twix, Three Musketeers,
lots of different M&Ms.
Lots of different M&Ms. Snickers.
Yep.
So
it's a great combination.
Oh, great combination and great handfuls for the kids. So they get filled up. Their bag gets filled up real quick. That's the good point. When did you go through the candy?
Well, I mean, some that night, chocolate should be banned. So they need to decide that if this is the weather, here's the candy. Because we got home, and I think some of the chocolate had reformed. But now, like the wrappers, where the chocolate melted and the wrapper went inside of it, it's all over the place. And the same thing happened to us at what's the chocolate place at Disney Springs that gives out the free chocolate?
The Ganachery? Oh, no, Ghirardelli.
Yes. So we went in there and got one. Rhonda put them in her purse. We found them like 4 days later, and they were it was almost unedible at that point. But chocolate was a horrible, horrible idea that evening.
So so this is Sunday night, 7 o'clock to midnight. So realistically, we're saying we had the sun for an hour.
Yeah.
Right? If that, I mean, that's it. I mean, we're that time of the year. We got it back to the room. We left and came home on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I sorted it out and threw out, 20% of the candy. And if you say, well, just how much of the chocolate, I probably threw out, 35-40% of the chocolate. That yes, it was flat. It was something square was now shaped like a football. it was just, I'm like, there was a lot of chocolate candy there that went to waste.
Yeah, the M&Ms are okay. Hard candy shell is a lifesaver. So at least, those worked. But yeah, it was pretty bad.
Now we, after some of the candy runs, we decided to head towards the hub, and we were going to try and find a place to plant for the parade, Boo-to-You Parade, the Hocus Pocus stage show, and the fireworks. And when you look at the times for it, I mean, Hocus Pocus, 7:40, 8:35, 10:45, and midnight. We were saying 8:35 for that. The Boo-to-You Parade is 9:15 and 11:15, and then the Hollow Wishes 10:15.
Yeah.
So we said 8:35 to see Hocus Pocus, 9:15 for the parade, 10:15 for the fireworks. That's the majority of our 7 to midnight.
Yeah.
Right. So
you don't want to miss a single one of those.
No,
you really don't.
You definitely want to see them. And again, the Halloween party, Christmas party is not about the rides and attractions. It's about the extras, the things that are not going on normally.
Yes.
And these are 3 things that you can't get normally. So we found a spot outside of the circle of the hub, but right where it kind of straightens out. So if you're coming up Main Street, we're beyond the buildings of Main Street, but we're not to the circular part.
Yeah.
We're on the right-hand side. We managed to find enough curb space for at least the 4 kids, and then we're behind them as the 4 adults. Right to our immediate left, though, is one of the walkways where you're coming from Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
So you're coming from Tomorrowland, and you have one of the walkways, and there's no curb there, so it comes down. That helps for strollers, wheelchairs, any of the motorized scooters. Normally, they will kick everybody out who blocks those.
Yeah.
This night, they did not.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Yeah, it was odd. So the one closest to us and the one across from us were both blocked. There's still another one, right? Just because how the hub is, there's another one. That one was not blocked, but you were just, normally all of those, they are kicking everybody out of.
And it's a great spot to be if you can get next to those areas because, like you said, normally they're blocked off and nobody can stand or sit there, so you're not so crowded. So, which I think was kind of part of our intent.
Right. Yeah,
but we had a great spot.
Oh, great spot. So you can see the Hocus Pocus from where we were, stand up, and you can see it straight on. You didn't have to be right up against the castle to see it. So good show, no different than last year, right? Show's exactly the same. The parade, which is one of the best, came by. Great.
Yeah.
In between there, you do have the Headless Horseman, which I understand that they came around a few times to make sure that nobody had any feet, shoes, hands on the street for the Headless Horseman.
They could get stomped on.
You had to get stepped on. And I'm thinking, I understand that he doesn't have a head and can't really see where he's going. But if he is that far off...
Oh, yeah, there's going to be worse problems, I think.
Yeah, we're by the curb and you're that worried about the curb is... Normally you see him tend to be right down the middle of the street, maybe just a hair off to the side, but... They were I was surprised at how many times they came to just said, hey, you got to be up. Once he's gone, that's fine. And I understand it, but I still thought.
Yeah, when the one, we were laughing because the one cast member just scared the crap out of our youngest daughter because it'd be one thing to say, there's something coming through, you need to have your feet and your hands on the curb. But he was like, they could get stomped on, they could, and she's starting to like, how far back do I need to go? But I think, I know we're coming up on the end of the Halloween party, but what we did and where we staked out, and for us to stake out for those 3 things, one after another, was the most brilliant idea we've ever, I don't know whose idea it was, I don't know if it was collective, but that was brilliant on our part, to be honest, because like you said, we watched one thing after another, and in between, somebody could run off and get waters or snacks if we needed to. There was the PhotoPass photographers were coming down and they have the little handheld signs that say, Boo to You Parade or Mickey's, Not So Scary Halloween Party, as well as they would bring the PhotoPass person back into the middle where you could get pictures with the castle in the background. So at no point we all know that there's a lot of waiting at Disney, whether it's in a queue, whether it's for a parade. I never felt like we were waiting, and whether it was just somebody walking by and going, oh, cool costume. And we said, oh, yeah, you too. Or the PhotoPass or letting the kids have some candy. I mean, we sat there for what? It ended up being 2.5 or so hours. It sure didn't feel like it.
Right. Yeah. I trying to think if we guessed the time. We were probably there, 7:45?
Yeah. For the 8:15, was it? Showing of the Hocus Pocus? 8:35. So, yeah, we were there a long time.
Yeah. Maybe we were a little later than that, but pretty good. So, I believe it was your idea to go to the hub. I found the spot. We found one spot, and I said, you guys stay here. I'm going to go look. I went and found this one, and I texted you guys, come down.
Yeah, and it was perfect.
So that worked out well. And, the other thing that I like is with the Halloween party is lots of special characters that aren't normally out. If they're the regular characters and they're out, they are dressed up for Halloween.
Yep.
So it's nice seeing, Winnie the Pooh in a costume above the costume
it's still different.
Winnie the Pooh. Yep, so it's different. And then also the magic shots for the photo where
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. So we went, the first magic shot before we went to the hub was Haunted Mansion. So we went to Haunted Mansion. We got in line. We're waiting for the magic shot where it's right by the old hearse that's there. You take a picture, and then when you get the picture on your photo pass, you realize that the hitchhiking ghost is in the picture. It was our turn to go up. We put our stuff down to go up, and all of a sudden we saw, I won't say mass hysteria, but controlled chaos of everybody out, and closing the ride, getting everybody out of the queue. Everybody has to go.
Which was probably at that point a 45, 50-minute wait. So that queue was full, like crazy
queue was
full.
Then we heard, then one of the managers came up and said code 25.
Yeah.
So I do not know the Disney codes, but Google does. So I hurry up, open up Google, did Disney code 25, and it says fire. So who knows what's going on, but obviously they're clearing out the Haunted Mansion, fire,
and outside of it.
Might be, and outside of it, including all the cast members.
Yes.
Everybody on the other side of the gate, of the entrance gate to the ride. Now, they didn't want the photographer to take our photos, wanted ours out. You said, hey, hurry up and take it, which I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Rhonda did.
Yeah.
She can be somewhat persuasive at times, so they were like, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, so they snapped 2 quick photos, one regular, one with the ghost in it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys did not get to do yours, and we were pushed out. Now, the cast members, telling everybody, sorry, closed, and doing that, but there was great pictures with just them because they were all dressed up for Halloween in addition to their Haunted Mansion gear. And there was, a dozen of them outside.
Oh, at least.
So they were all getting together with the 12 and taking pictures with people. So that was neat. We got that. And then there was another photo pass area where you were holding a lamp to the Haunted Mansion sign.
Yeah.
So those were still going on, but we walked past there again later. We checked the app, and it still wasn't open. So I don't know if that reopened.
I looked all over. I was looking on Twitter and I never saw any sort of news. So I don't know if it was just something false and, there's extra smoke and stuff outside and there's all these sensors. I'm not sure. But what ends up being so funny, I think the picture of all our kids with all the cast members standing out front is 1,000,000 times better than if we had gotten the hitchhiking ghost one. Like that was kind of one of those rare opportunities. And it's something I love about Disney. We go, just on a little bit of a tangent, we go every month, and people will ask me, I'm sure they ask you, why do you go every month? Haven't you seen it all? Haven't you done it all? No. I mean, in the 30 plus times we've been, we've never had a chance for our kids to take a picture with over a dozen Haunted Mansion cast members who are dressed up for Halloween. So every single time we go, there's some sort of first. It could be that photo. It could be the first time you're in, the front row at Rock and Roller Coaster or Everest. Every time I feel like there's a first, which is pretty cool. And then before we move on, I do one more thing I want to touch on because it still makes me laugh, is the hub. And that neither of our wives had any clue what the hub was. And every time you and I said, well, let's head over to the hub to find a spot, I mean, I'm not sure if they looked at us like we were stupid or we were just the biggest Disney nerds ever.
That's what they thought.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the Disney nerd one. But so for anyone listening who's thinking, what is the hub? The hub is you come up Main Street, you have a circle in front of the, Cinderella's castle, and you basically have spokes going off to each of the lands, Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, Frontierland, Adventureland, and, in all those areas. That hub is your hub cap in a sense. It's the central point of Magic Kingdom. And if you want to think about planning any sort of trip or you want to know which way to go, you better know where the hub is. So I don't think they'll forget now what the hub is, but I'm still laughing. It was a week and a half ago, and it still makes me laugh every time I hear hub because they had no clue.
No clue. But they'll still somehow will get blamed and
Yeah.
make fun of us.
But they don't typically plan
Right.
what we're doing at Disney. It's you and I that are doing it for either our entire group or our individual families. So I'll give them a pass on that. But so we enjoyed Hocus Pocus. We saw the Boo to You parade, which again, best parade in Disney, I think. And then watched Hallowishes, which again is one of the best fireworks shows that Disney's ever done. And then we kind of continued back around the park to find some more treats to the People Mover and some other things.
Yeah, I think our number one goal after that was to find water.
Oh yeah.
So with it being so hot and that we had some water, finished them, and then after the Boo to You parade and between that and the fireworks, Rhonda took all the kids to the restroom. I headed out to go get waters for everybody.
Yeah.
So normally you head to the right. There's 2 popcorn carts or there in the hub area. The first one I went to, there was probably a minimum of 50 people in line.
It's crazy.
And I said, forget that. I headed to the other one. That one had at least that many people or more. And I said, forget that. I headed over towards the Plaza restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
There's a restroom there. Use that water fountain. I got myself a warm drink of water there. Came back empty-handed, and pretty much said, if nobody's getting water right now because I'll be waiting through the whole fireworks show.
Yeah.
There's just no way. So when we finished, we headed towards Tomorrowland and went to the launch pad right underneath Astro Orbiter, and there was nobody in line. Was able to grab some waters there. Kids got some more candy there. We went through. Actually, it was interesting. The Stitch attraction, while that's closed and just a character meet and greet now, you walk through the whole thing to get candy.
Yeah.
So,
which I really like they did that. Along with the Tiki Room, I thought that was a great use of closing down an attraction. Well, Stitch is a whole other episode, but closing down an attraction to allow people to walk through, but to still in some way see the attraction was it was a really good use of that.
yeah. So, candy there.
And air
candy,
conditioning.
Yeah, and air conditioning. Candy in front of Carousel of Progress. We rode the People Mover. We were on it with you, which means it's going to break down. But I think we just stopped once.
Yeah, it was short.
So
we didn't
actually
have to
wasn't
get
bad.
escorted off as we often do.
Right. So that one wasn't bad. And then from there, right in Tomorrowland is a Halloween dance party where they have Mike Wazowski, Sully, and Boo. And the kids went and danced with them for a little bit. Your daughter was showing me how she can dab. And
It's either dab or floss. Those are her only two go-to moves.
well, no, we had both going on.
Yes.
Right? Because Kaylin was doing the floss
Yep.
and
Lacey's
Lacey was
dabbing.
dabbing. And then mine are just jumping. Not quite sure what's going on. Gianna usually is afraid of Mike Wazowski, but she was dancing in front of him. But Mike Wazowski, just that character and how they're set up, not very interactive with the kids.
No.
Right? It's just the arms dangle at the
Oh
side.
yeah, there's so much going on.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird where Sully, right, the kids can pull the hair, grab them, hold their hand, do that. Mike probably isn't the best character for that.
Yeah.
But, did that for a little bit, and then it was time, besides all the candy, we can get regular treats. So some of us wanted the candy corn ice cream, of which we figured we went to the wrong location. But Rhonda went and got some. I went back by Sleepy Hollow to go try the Jack Skellington push-up pop, and I got some of that. Michelle and the kids and that just got regular ice cream since they were right in front of the regular ice cream place. The Jack Skellington push-up pop is good if you want something that's really, really sugary and icing.
It was so good.
It's a little piece of chocolate on top for Jack Skellington, and then it's just layers of chocolate cake and icing.
Yeah.
Right, you just push it up and eat it.
Get a spoon.
Yeah, get it.
It was tough pushing
Tough
that
to
up.
eat.
Like I'm pushing that
Yeah.
up and it's going all over my chin. I could have had a spoon, but it was really good.
It was
Actually.
good. So think of a push-up pop.
Yeah.
That was it. Let's see. Earlier, the kids had the candy corn cotton candy.
Yes.
I didn't try it, but they said that was
Yeah, I did
fine.
not. They liked it. Yeah, the candy corn ice cream was very good since Rhonda ran down and got that back for Kaylin, so we didn't have any sort of meltdowns. But by the time she got back with it, where we were all sitting, it was pretty much candy corn ice cream soup.
Yes.
Because it was still brutally hot at that point. So
So we finished that. Then, gosh, I don't know what time it was. 11:30, 11:40, and Gianna gave the "I'm exhausted." So we said, "Let's get out of here as quick as we can," because the parade was going on, and if we could beat the parade, we'll be able to get out.
yeah.
So we did our quick goodbyes and got out of there. And she walked and complained the whole way, but we got out, beat the crowd. The bus for Saratoga was at the spot, and there was a person in front of us who was folding up a stroller.
Yeah.
And that's what the bus was waiting on.
So you got lucky. It's one of those times you're glad
Yes.
that somebody waited until the very last minute to fold up their stroller.
Yes, and then I have interesting stories about that person on it, but I think he spent, I don't know how long he was at the Halloween party, but he definitely spent a lot of time at Epcot during the day, not sampling the food.
Yeah. Which was not so good for you, but it was great for us because we decided we were going to meet Jack Skellington and Sally. We had not done it last year. When we first walked in and near that area, I mean, lines, I can't imagine they're probably an hour plus wait. So we thought, well, let's head over and let's try that out. And we ended up waiting. We still probably waited 45 to 50 minutes. I mean, it was well past midnight, but the entire time we're getting texts from you guys about this guy on the bus. So it kept us very entertained. But if you're going to do Jack and Sally, which was really cool because they, like all Disney characters, especially the ones that can talk, they interact so much. So while you're waiting in line, that's annoying because you're just thinking, take your picture, get out of here. When you're actually going up there and getting your picture, it's so cool the way they're interacting. They're talking about you, your costumes. It's Jack Skellington and Sally, which is very cool. The other thing we've talked about in the past, I would have never expected it was going to be that hot. I know we keep bringing up the heat, but it was bad. And that's why we said in episode 2, plan your costumes wisely. We thought we were really smart because it was going to be a little bit towards the end of October, mid-October. We thought it would be cooler. We like to dress up, all 4 of us, as a family. And kids wanted Descendants 2, specifically down to the clothing and hair. So each of us dressed up as Descendants. I even did. Believe it or not, there are no adult male J costumes. So with the help of your wife Michelle there, we pieced something together. I ordered separate pieces on Amazon, made my own costume. But that meant the entire night I was wearing jeans that I had to spray paint to get the colors. So they were heavier than normal. I'm wearing sock shoes, and I'm a flip-flop guy. I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt and a heavy jean vest and a wig and a snow beanie hat. Now, for some reason, I'm just weird like this. If I'm going to put something like that on, I don't like to break character in a sense. I'm kind of notorious for that as far as Halloween goes, usually to an annoying standpoint to other people. But I wasn't going to just take off my hat and my hair and put it, in my pocket or put it in a bag and just walk around not 100% dressed. So I toughed it out, wore it the entire time, snuck it off a few times to kind of scratch my head and put it back on. But this is where it comes back down to pick your costume wisely. Poor Rhonda and the kids are in pants, long sleeves, wigs. Lacey was not in a wig because we dyed her hair blue, but it was absolutely brutal. So next year, I want to find whoever costumes wear, shorts and a t-shirt, maybe Smee or something. I'll just go as, because I'm pretty sure he's got a short sleeve shirt and shorts on, but it was bad.
So I if I didn't mention it earlier, I had on the Hitchhiking Ghost dry fit shirt. And then during the night, I said probably the best character to, not a Disney character, but the best person to dress up as would be Michael Phelps,
Yes.
right? Just
Yeah.
put on a bathing suit,
Yep.
and that is it.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let me in.
Might not let you in, but that was about the only thing that would have been suitable for
That
the
evening.
temperature.
It was bad.
To go through it. On the way out, we beat the parade crowd. We managed to. There's a special photo right outside, which is you with the hitchhiking ghost. Which again, it's that digital image. It's not really there, but you get your photo, and they are. There was nobody there, so we walked right up to her. Gianna was crabby, so she looked crabby in the photo. Gavin was fine. And then we got those, and then we headed out to where we caught the bus with our wonderful stroller man.
Yeah.
Maybe Flask Man would have been his costume. So, again, a great night. We saw the kids got the candy they wanted. We saw characters. We did 2 rides, but we saw this Hocus Pocus. Yeah. We saw the parade. We saw the fireworks, all from a great spot. Got to see great costumes. Got to see just the characters out there. A great night, a lot of fun, well worth it, and we'll look forward to the same Sunday night of the long weekend next year for the Halloween party.
Which is so funny because we only bought our tickets in September for this year, which now we're really lucky we did because it ended up selling out and we wanted to go with you guys. They are expensive. It's pricey to add that extra day. For us as pass holders and you a DVC member, I know we still wish there were better discounts. But in the end, and every time I go into it, I think, I'm really glad we're going. But we probably won't do it next year. And at the end of the night, every single time, I'm just almost like, can we book next year now? Like, I'm ready to go back next year. And that's what I think is so amazing about it. So if you've not experienced it, you got limited window for the rest of this year up until Halloween, now that we're just over a week away. But put it on your schedule for next year. Find a time to go. It runs for 2 months straight, so you have time to go. If you go September or October, chances are you're going to overlap, with being able to go. So we would highly recommend it. But I think that's it for us today. Really glad to talk to you, about this. We had so much fun. As always, you got to check us out on iTunes. If you can leave us a rating and review, it's just going to help the show grow. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Twitter at MMNSSHP, and let us know your thoughts on if you did the Halloween party or if you're going to the upcoming Christmas party. That's all for now. We'll see you real soon.